Hello, welcome back. Happy New Year. Hope everybody is getting their New Year started off right with health, wealth. I don't have a third one. Health and wealth. That's good enough, right? So today I am going to be refilming. I learned that I was going to have to move it to a thumb drive and free up space on my laptop. Otherwise, I wasn't going to be able to do anything else, period. So I waited a week, got the flash drive, and copied the video over, deleted the original video, went to CapCut to export it. I deleted the original video, so the media is gone. But I was able to resurrect the media. I was able to recover it. So I did the final rewatch because the video was completely edited. It was a 30-minute video ready to go. I just had to do the final rewatch and upload it. Fucking hated it. I made way too many references to it being like last year, because obviously I filmed it last year. And then I signed off with like, hope you guys have a great rest of your year. And it was just like too many things at that point. It's like, you just gotta refilm it at that point. And questions that ChatGPT gave me this time were even better than the ones that they gave me last time. So I forgot you guys didn't watch the video. So I asked for questions. Nobody gave me questions. So I asked ChatGPT for some questions. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have my makeup all here, and I'm going to be doing a get ready with me while I answer these questions. I'm not great at get ready with me's, so we'll see how this goes. But hopefully you guys can see okay. I kind of have my ring light turned on my mirror, but if I turn it up too much, then it gives me like crazy exposure on my face. So kind of gonna be doing my makeup in the dark. Oh, I realized I don't have to do my makeup in the dark. Give me 1 sec. All right. Very nice. I'm back. Don't mind my 100-pound shadow behind me. So first I'm going to be going in doing brows, and I will go ahead and open up the first question. What is one goal you're setting for yourself in 2024, and how do you plan to stick with it? So my main goal for 2024 is starting my podcast. My plan to see it through and stick with it, I feel like I really don't need a plan to stick with it because this has been like my ultimate goal for so long that I can't imagine myself like quitting once it finally comes to fruition. But as far as like staying motivated and not getting burnt out by such a big endeavor, I'm just trying to keep it really fun and busy, because I work best when I have a lot going on. I actually find it quite hard to get burnt out and bored when I have a lot going on. It's just when I have a period of nothing going on and then I try to hop back into something that I start to feel like I'm running on E here. But I'm really, really excited for the first episode. Fuck. I already have a couple guests lined up, and they're cool guests. I have a musical guest lined up, and then I have a couple ideas for friends of mine down in Miami who have a lot more going on than I do as far as like their career, professional lives, and their level of success. So that would be super, super cool if I could have them on the podcast and just kind of be able to talk about those things, talk about what it's like to be a woman down here in South Florida who is, trying to start her own brand, start her own business, and kind of what that's like. So I'm really excited for that, and I feel like having those guests lined up will help keep me on track too, because that way our first episode can be kind of without guests so that you get to know me and Ava, my roommate and my co-host. And then maybe we'll do a guest episode, a couple of solo episodes, a guest episode. But even just having those two guests really kind of helps me flesh out the idea for the first several episodes. So really excited for that. You guys can hopefully see the first episode. I love how I just have one brow going on. Hopefully you'll be able to see the first episode before the end of January. And then ideally you'll be able to see the first interview episode before February. And I'm going to keep the musical guest a secret. It's not going to be anybody like crazy, but it is a very, very talented artist that I listen to regularly. So you can definitely be on the lookout for that. Other than that, always excited for what Lemonade has going on this year. I feel like especially with the TikTok ban coming up at the end of the month, that I don't know, I have a feeling that lemonade is gonna have its moment, even if it's just like it's 15 minutes. I think it's gonna have its moment in the sun so that people who are interested in that kind of content versus the short form video content and the kind of like chaotic content that TikTok brings. If you're not as much into that type of content and you want more of like a 2010s vibe, you like beauty type content, you're really going to enjoy what Lemonade has coming up for this year after the TikTok ban. So definitely those two things. Next question. What is the biggest lesson you learned in 2024 that will guide your choices in 2025? I like this question. I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned is that not everything needs to be said. Just because you have a voice and just because you know how to use your voice and you're comfortable speaking up doesn't mean that you should always speak up. It doesn't always mean that your input is valuable. Even if you think it's valuable, like within the context of the conversation and what you are bringing to the conversation, I'm learning that sometimes you don't have to say everything, even if you do think that you're right, even if you do think that you are bringing something relevant, you don't have to say it. Also, I'm using the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. I use it in black. These are not even. This brow looks great. This brow looks like fucking shit. So we're gonna try to even these bad boys out. Another lesson that I learned in 2024. I know that I learned a lot of lessons. I feel like that one definitely stands out to me the most. Just about like learning when to use your voice for good and when to use your silence for good. So that's definitely something that I'm trying to learn this year so that I can be a better friend, a better presence on the internet, and a better ally as well. You know, definitely like my presence on the internet has been a little I guess aggressive the last few years. I don't know. I like to tussle. I like to tussle on the internet. I'm not afraid of replying to people with my own opinions. I'm not afraid of that's getting so dirty. Oh my god. I'm not afraid of disagreement. I'm not afraid of having a conversation about controversial topics. So I'm kind of trying to lessen that this year. I want to have less like tussles on the internet. I'm tired of like opening up my notifications and like seeing some shit that I'm not trying to see. And a lot of that is my fault. If I just didn't open my mouth, there would be no conflict. There would be nothing to conflict about if I sometimes wasn't starting conflicts, quite frankly. So we're just still trying to still trying to clean this up. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna go back in and just try to even this bad boy up. Please. Seriously. Oh, fucking hell no. Oh, fucking rage quit. I'm not gonna rage quit. I'm not gonna rage quit because of this fucking eyebrow. I'm not gonna rage quit because of this fucking eyebrow. Let me try again. Just like this whole video, we're just gonna start over. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're gonna start over and we're gonna do it again. It's okay. In other news, I would like to thank Luigi Mangione. I think that's his name. Anyway, I have not been keeping up with that United shit. Because the way I saw it, I just didn't care. You know, it's like a CEO is particularly exploitative, gets murked. That's not my business, but obviously I'm not gonna be out here like shooting CEOs. Anyways, so I get healthcare through the marketplace, and I got my new marketplace plan at the beginning of January, obviously. And so I went to Publix to pick up my prescription this time because Walgreens refuses to carry the generic of my prescription. So we tried Publix to see if that would be a little cheaper. So I went to check out and they were like, "Oh, your HMO plan is contracted with Walgreens." And I was like, "Oh, what does that mean?" They said it means you can only get your prescriptions at Walgreens. So I was like, "Well, That's fucked because Walgreens refuses to carry the generic of my prescription. So I would be in a position where I would be forced to pay for the name brand. And I know it's this way in most states, but in Florida, they have to substitute it for the generic if the generic is available, unless you ask for the name brand. So it just seems like they were trying to, like, so I called my insurance company and I was like, hey, my HMO plan is contracted through Walgreens, but Walgreens refuses to carry the generic for this drug. So I don't know what to do. Because it's not that much less to go to Walgreens and pay for the name brand than it is to pay for the generic out of pocket. They said that the generic would be $212 out of pocket. Did I pay it? Yes, because I didn't have time after I had already waited a week past when I was supposed to pick it up. I didn't have time to have it re-prescribed over at Walgreens, wait for the prescription to be ready, go pick it up. Possibly there's more issues, like, and it's going to be nearly as expensive anyway. All that hassle was not worth the extra 20 bucks, I felt like. So I just went ahead and paid it and went home. I was not happy about it. I mean, $212 for a 30-day supply. And so that was yesterday. Today I get a call from Publix and they said, hey, you picked up a prescription yesterday, right? And you paid out of pocket. And I said, yes. And they said, well, your insurance company called us because you opened a case with them and they are willing to, I guess, using Publix as my pharmacy under my plan. So that I can get the generic. And they said, if you want, you can come back to Publix and we will refund you the $212 that you paid, and we'll just bill you the $22 for the generic under your plan. That's the Luigi effect. If I've ever seen it before, that's the Luigi effect. I could not believe my luck. I could not believe my luck. I really thought that they were just going to tell me, like, you're shit out of luck, because it seems like for this particular drug, there's just this attitude of, like, I don't know, like if you're trying to get it, you're doing something wrong. And so they try to make you go through all these hoops and makes me feel weird about it to begin with. So, yeah, I felt really, really lucky when they called me back yesterday and offered that because I didn't even know that that was an option to be able to get like refunded for prescriptions like that. So that's what I am getting ready for. I'm just getting ready to go to a refund. Anyway, I think I fixed the brow. Low key, it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad at all. Pretty happy with that. As happy as I'm gonna be considering where we were. Cheers. Cheers to a brow pulled off. A brow pulled off, love. Okay, next question. Do you have any words or mantras you're using as a guide this year? Specifically, maybe not. I guess I have a couple. There are like two sayings that I just kind of like carry with me throughout my life. I have one of them tattooed right here on my arm. It's spelled wrong. I have to go get it fixed. But it's Tikkun Olam, which is Hebrew for save the world, or it's like a rough translation to save the world. And essentially in Judaism, it's the concept that, by the way, I'm going in with the Tatcha serum stick under the eyes. It's the concept that since Jews were delivered to the promised land to be saved forever and ever and live a blessed life, that it is their duty to repay God by doing good in the world, by doing good deeds, not contributing to evil in the world, and just trying to balance out, the negativity that's in the world with good deeds and goodwill. And that's really important to me. Just a reminder to always keep a good head on your shoulders and a good heart. No matter how successful you start to become or what can happen that can distract you from your values, it is a reminder of my values that at all times I never want to contribute to evil in the world. I only want to do good when I can. And then another one is I always say be scared and do it anyway. That feeling of hesitancy, of fear, of not being sure if you can do something, I really lean into that. And I think that that is really, really valuable to be able to feel that in your stomach and to kind of find the value in that feeling. Because it can be very motivating, when you're terrified of something and you feel like the stakes are really high. For me, that is when I perform. quite frankly, that's when I do my best work, I would say. So be scared, do it anyway. And now I am going in with my Iconic London cream face palette. And I'm going to take this middle shade right here and just kind of do like some underpainting. I'm trying to keep it light because I see we're almost at 20 minutes. I still have to edit this whole thing, but I do want to do a little bit more than the last one that I filmed. The last one that I filmed, I only ended up literally just doing my brows and some spot concealing, and that's why I say that I'm not good at get ready with me's, because I have ADHD, so it's really difficult for me to focus on doing good makeup and doing good talking at the same time. But here we are. I am doing my best. And the next question is, what would you want to learn from someone balancing multiple creative projects like you do? That's such a good question. I guess I would want to observe how they maintain consistent quality while working on multiple projects, especially over a longer period of time. I would love to know how more successful people who have been at this much longer than me, how they manage burnout. Because I feel like when I'm in like an energy burst, like an ADHD sprint, like I don't care if you give me 10 projects, I can get them all done before 2 a.m. and it's awesome. But then what comes up must come down. And so it's like when I don't have that energy burst, or when I'm trying to maintain consistency over a long period of time, that can get very difficult. So I would love to know from someone more successful than me that balances multiple projects, especially with ADHD, how they remain consistent. And now I'm just blending? Are we blending? I think we actually, this Iconic London palette is really, really good. The pigment is definitely there, so I underestimate every time I put this bronzer on. But then, like, look how, can you? Can you look? Look how easily it blends out into the skin. Like, that went from a streak to a glow, baby. To a glow, baby. Well, the chin strap, too, but it's an underpaint. You guys feel me? It's an underpaint. Love this palette, and I think that I'm actually going to go in with this palette and use this deeper shade on the eyes too. I tried that the other day and it was so pretty, because obviously I'm not going to have a use for that shade on the face, but it's such like a rich, warm chocolate brown that it just creates a really nice, cohesive eye look when used with the other colors in the face palette. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just packing that on the eye with my finger. And you can be kind of rough. It is a cream bronzer, so it's definitely gonna blend out really good in the end. Anyway, I have a lot of playtime also because it's a cream bronzer. Always. Like, why wouldn't that happen? You have a lot of playtime, so it's not gonna dry down on you too quick or anything. I'm so glad that I chose to do eyes before base. Like, I stopped myself last second and I was like, should you go ahead and do eyes before you go in with the base? And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, okay? If I had gone in with my concealer already when that just happened, that would have been my 13th reason. Oh. I know I said that you can be a little messy, but don't be doing all that. Don't be doing all that. You don't have to take it up to the brow bone. You don't. In fact, don't do it. Don't take it up to the brow bone. I'm just trying. I'm just trying to get all the product off my finger. I went in like with my whole fingertip. I just gone in with like the tip. All right, now that that is on, kind of got that shit on. No, now we blend. Hey, could I get a little room? Uh, oh, my knee is cracking. This guy gives me not even 6 inches to stretch my legs out. My roommate's gonna kill me when she sees her Red Bull in my video. Don't worry, I'll buy you another one. I'll go in with this one. It is the Jacqueline JH34 tapered fluffy blending brush, I'm pretty sure. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about Jaclyn Hill? Love her makeup. I'm so sorry. Love her makeup. I still use the Jaclyn Cosmetics, like the shimmer setting powder, the glow powder. But my God, does that woman have beef with the internet? Like, and it's like all the time. Like, it never ends with Jaclyn Hill. It's like something is always coming out about damn lipstick gate that, like, she lied about. She lied, y'all. It was all a lie. Or that she left out of the narrative. Like, I don't know if I have any, like, makeup people, internet lore people. But if you remember the Makeup Geek and Jaclyn Hill drama with Marlene Estelle, you're a real one. You're a real one. And we could talk about it. That made me look at her so different. It did not make me look at her different to the point where I'd be throwing out my Jaclyn Cosmetics because the products are really good. But definitely I unsubscribed. No longer a Jaclyn Hill stan. Sucks because when I first moved down here to Florida, I actually reached out to Jaclyn Hill to see if I could work on her brand. I was a huge Jaclyn Hill fan. We both lived in South Florida. She just lived in the Tampa area at the time. I know she has since moved to LA. By the way, anybody, if you're from LA, like, prayers for real. Hope that you guys are all good in the hood, but it's looking like you're not. So definitely hope that all of you guys are okay over there on the West Coast. My boyfriend is from LA, so we definitely are sending prayers upstairs. Prayers upstairs, y'all. So that was a little tapered. I think I'm gonna go in with a fluffier brush. Damn, I wish I had a powder palette over here so that I could just dip into like a, you know what, I do have this Jaclyn powder. Maybe I'll just use this to kind of just buff out the edges. Like, you see how it could just be a little bit softer around the edges, probably because it's a cream. I'm just gonna go in, since I don't have like a transition shade nearby, and just use some like base powder and see if that kind of softens it up. Yeah, cute. All right, so that looks bad. It looks fine. It's definitely good enough, especially since we're just gonna cover it in like shimmer anyway. So next, I'm going to throw a glitter all over the lid, and I'm gonna call the eye look good. Maybe I'll add on a little bit of liner, a little bit of liner. It's giving a little bit creasier than the last time I used it. Maybe I used an eyeshadow primer with it last time. I don't remember. So maybe I should go in and just powder the lid. I'm thinking maybe I'll powder the lid, just to make sure that it's not going to crease on me. Because I am using a glitter, and I think it's a glitter instead of a shadow. So it doesn't exactly set your base the way that like a shadow would. So let's go ahead and pop that on there to keep my creases intact. I don't know what it is. I hate that. I hate when I go to like finish a sentence and for whatever reason, I can't think of the right word that I want to use. Oh, I hate that. Gives me the ick because I'm like a walking thesaurus. So God forbid one time I can't think of like a good 3-syllable word to use. I just discovered this gorgeous Sephora like single shadow. It's in the shade Fool's Gold. I had $2 left on a gift card that I needed to use. So this was on sale for like $2 and I figured, why not? It looked really pretty. Debating whether or not to use a glitter primer. I will. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna go over this base with this luminous eye tint from Essence, just to kind of deepen up that brown color. Because like I said, I forgot to grab like an eyeshadow palette to do this with. So I do have this. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. And then we will throw the glitter on top of this one. So let's see if we can kind of blend this out. This one I don't like as much, this product. I just picked this up too. All of this is kind of new-ish makeup. This one, again, is the Essence Luminous Eye Tint. It's not super blendable. It doesn't give you like a ton of playtime or anything. And then also it is water-based. So literally I had this on the back of my hand and I rinsed it off. I rinsed the water on my hand and it came clean off, which is generally not something that you would want in an eye makeup product, is for any water to just wash it clean off. Considering that, sometimes you sweat. It also looks like oil takes it off too. Because that's what I was hoping is, oh, okay, maybe it's water soluble, but maybe like it'll stand up against the oils on your lid or something. No, babe. No, babe. How would you think that? Come on, in there. It is looking a little patchy right here. You can definitely see. Like I said, we are gonna throw a glitter on top of this, so I'm just gonna try to make sure that the crease looks fluffy and blended. Fluffy and blended. Does it look fluffy and blended? Oh my god. Oh my god! This is why I don't do Get Ready With Me. So you guys are gonna be like, who's never done makeup once in her life? You should see the way this shit turned out when the camera was off. Okay? That's all I have to say. You should see how this shit turned out when you weren't looking. I do think that it looks a little bit better just with a deeper base underneath. I had kind of blended away the bronzer. Again, for some reason, I turned the camera on and suddenly the performance is not performing. So I'm using the Hard Candy Glitter Stay Primer just a little bit on the back of my hands to get that glitter to stick down a little bit better. Huge recommendation is to use a glitter primer with your pressed glitters. It makes all the difference. And another trick that I do is don't necessarily pack it all over the lid, because then you're going to create that, unless that's what you want, that line where the glitter primer ends. I try to kind of start at the lash line and then like dabble up so that you get almost like that glitter fade up into the crease towards the brow bone, so that it looks really concentrated and sparkly and pretty towards the lash line, and then it kind of fades up towards the brow bone. I think that's a really pretty effect. I try to do it in front of the camera and then always have to use my mirror anyway. That took off all of that. It took it all off. Fucking love that. That shadow, bro. Essence! Explain! Essence is such a hit or miss for me. Like, can you guys see that? Can you see how much, like, brown shadow it lifted up off my lids? Lash Princess is my ride or die. This shit? I don't know what this is. This is not the Essence that I know and love. So I'm just going to take that on my little thingy and pack it on the lid. Oh, I was like, what? Gorgeous. I love the effect that it creates when you pack this gold shadow on top of like a dark brown base. You can see it kind of created like a natural halo eye there. A real halo eye would look better, but the way that this turned out, I'm not like Mick-hating it. Like, am I gonna go grab a wet wipe and do it all over again? No. So that means it's good enough. And I'm just going in with a wipey and kind of cleaning up underneath where all that glitter fallout happens. And also where the inner corner where that dark shadow just kind of drops down. I like to keep that pretty bright. Speaking of bright, next I'm going in with the e.l.f. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener. And I'm just going to put this underneath my under eyes. And I am trying to wrap this up, but basically I'll tell you guys a little bit more about the podcast because I've been working on it for so long. Do you see the difference that makes? Crazy. So I am really excited to start my podcast this year. I think you guys can tell that I like to just kind of sit and talk. I love to talk to other people too. So I really look forward to the interview aspect of having a podcast because that's kind of my style of talking to people anyway, is when I meet them for the first time, it is almost like an interview, especially if they have something cool going on that is interesting that you would want to know more about. So I think that I might be cut out for the interview style to begin with. And so I really look forward to having the opportunity to have successful people that I know in real life and be able to talk to them, a space where they can kind of share their stories and their advice and their successes. Because I can see how maybe people wouldn't necessarily enjoy feeling like they're being interviewed in a casual, everyday scenario. I don't mean to be like that. I'm just such a curious person and I love to learn from other people. And that's another reason that I just think podcasting is the right next step. You love to learn and you love to learn from other people, then why wouldn't you start engaging with people like that? So I'm going in now with the broquet. I can't get used to like the camera is switched. So it's broquet eyebrow freeze. This is so good. I had talked about this in my last Q&A that didn't get posted, but Lemonade sent me this to review and I'm gonna make it my Thankful Thursday post on Lemonade that this is like my ride or die product of the week. It is legitimately the best brow gel I've ever used. Like, do you see the lift and the volume that we're getting here? Crazy. Let me go in on the other side so you guys can see. And it's just got this like perfect texture. I think it is similar to the Anastasia Brow Freeze. I tried the e.l.f. one years ago and it didn't hit like some of their other products do. I just feel like I didn't get enough lift from it. As you can see, I kind of have longer brow hairs, longer, fuller brow hairs. So I really need something that can hold them. And this I feel like does a better job than almost anything else I've tried. Lash glue gave the best hold, but we've moved on. We've moved on. We've matured. We've matured from lash glue in the brows and having to wash lash glue out of the brows every night. That's a 41-minute video. So we're just going to, okay, I'm going to finish off the face. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna wrap this up by finishing up the face and just telling you guys that, you know what? I forgot to tell you guys. I forgot to tell you. Iconic London, middle blush shade. I ordered a bunch of new equipment. I ordered a tripod. I ordered lighting. I ordered microphones. Like, this podcast is really gonna be legit. It's really gonna be legit, but also my YouTube channel is going to be looking a lot better. I will have studio lighting and I will have a microphone, so I won't have such a rudimentary setup going into 2025. And I know that that's going to help me produce my content too. Oh, I did blush before concealer. Love that. Is just the investments that I've made. I've really made a lot of investments, time wise, financial wise, personally, to make sure that I can really do it this year. That I'm not just posting like a YouTube video on my phone talking about what a bad day I had every 6 months. That I can really turn this into a career. If I just really get my foot in the door this year, that's cool too. I do just want to thank you guys again. Like I said, every time I upload, it's like I expected to get absolutely no views and definitely no comments. And somebody comments every single time I post. Like, without fail, somebody comments and is like, hey, I'm so glad you uploaded, or I'm glad you're back, like we missed you. It's pretty amazing. I really don't get negative comments. I don't get hate comments on YouTube anyway. And so I just wanted to thank you guys for that. If there's anybody, especially at this point in the video, that's still watching, It's just so fucking motivating, you know? When you start to wonder, is any of this even worth it? Like, am I fucking crazy for doing all of this? Am I crazy for putting my boyfriend through all of this? For putting my dog through all of this? For putting myself through all of this? Am I crazy for working 15-hour days that I'm not receiving a paycheck for? And then I'll get like that one comment that's like, oh, I've been waiting for you to upload again. And it's like, no fucking way. Seriously? It's crazy because I never really thought that I could pull this shit off, you know? Like here I am, and I knew that I would figure it out eventually because I didn't have another option, but legitimately where you when you come from where I'm from and you have the background that I have, wow, that's bright. Shit like this just doesn't happen as far as being able to move to Florida and make a career in the entertainment industry. Like you see it happen to other people. It doesn't happen to people like me. So when I get those comments and even just one person watching my videos, subscribing to me and being like, Gia uploaded, like that's severe. That's severe to me. And I seriously can't thank you enough. Like anybody that is here now at the beginning of 2025, you are the real one. You are the real one, and I will never forget you. Seriously, if you have come this far in the video and you watch my videos to the end, my shitty ass fucking videos where I don't know what the fuck I'm doing yet, I will never forget you. I will never forget your names. I know all of your names. I recognize you when you comment already. And when you comment, I already feel like we know each other. And, I said like 50 times. Y'all don't fucking know. Y'all don't fucking know. But I did want to say that just starting 2025 off as a creator, I'm so small still. I'm like literally tiny, not even big enough to really call myself a creator. But me and my 80 subscribers, man, we are rocking through 2025, y'all. And I just want to thank you so much. Seriously. I didn't do eyeliner. I didn't do mascara. I didn't do lashes. This is the look. Okay, wait. I'm gonna throw on some NARS Orgasm because I can't just like underpaint my blush. I have to do an I have to do an over blush too. Mm. Oh, oh. Question about that. A little bit of blush blindness. Never hurt nobody. Okay, guys. This is already 50 minutes. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video, and Happy New Year! Can't wait to see what we do in 2025.